Do you want to try?
No.
Do you want to hold it while I try?
Sure.
Okay.
So is it just a matter of spinning it?
Yeah, I think so. I think you just push. Maybe you have to do it the other way. It did just a minute ago.
Okay. It's rocking, but it's not. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Well, you're also carrying a million things.
That's true. I don't think I care enough. And neither do I.
So you're supposed to be able to spin this. Theoretically. I saw it happen.
So this empty building here used to be a Starbucks, and that is a Starbucks, and I guess, I don't know, they couldn't compete anymore.
Right. So what's it like being a Rachel Peters?
Oh, right now it just makes me really tired.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah. It's kind of cool to meet, you know. I know they exist. I knew they existed, but I'd never met one in real life. Another Rachel Peters.
Me neither.
You're a theater composer.
I am.
And you have a friend from a collaborator?
Grand Prairie. Yeah.
Okay.
He's my librettist.
All right.
Yeah.
He's your what?
Librettist.
What's a librettist?
Someone who writes the words to an opera.
Okay. So he's from Grand Prairie?
He's from Grand Prairie. And so he knew about this town, Torrington. Now, I don't know my Canadian geography at all, so this is really embarrassing. But do you know where that is?
No, I know Alberta, and I know Grand Prairie.
So the town had no revenue, and they had a lot of gophers. And so they solved both of these problems by shooting all the gophers and stuffing them and putting them in this thing called the Gopher Hole Museum. So there's a gopher church and a gopher barbecue and a gopher firehouse.
Are they all dressed up?
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy.
But it's amazing. I've never been there. They say that it's the size of like an RV. It's like a very small little place.
And I think I saw a friend from Alberta like on Facebook have pictures of it because it sounds really familiar.
Oh yeah? Well, I mean they have on YouTube, there's a whole thing with some horrible harmonica music in the background.
Yeah. And so now you're doing a musical called...
We wrote a short opera called Prairie Dogs because prairie dogs are actually more like humans than gophers. So,
and it's based on this?
Based on the idea that, yeah.
Wow.
So there's a little girl who lives in the town. And her dad is cheating on his wife. And so she decides that she's going to take up taxidermy. So he's shooting all the prairie dogs. She doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So she takes them and she sort of stuffs them and brings them back to life to get back at her dad.
And this is a musical, like a stage
It's an opera.
show. An opera.
Yeah. It hasn't been staged yet. We've just done a reading of it.
That's pretty amazing.
But,
I mean, it's a good premise.
well, I'm no animator, but I get by.
Well, this girl in the story kind of is. I mean, it's like puppet animation.
Yeah. Well, except that the puppets are, well, they're not actually puppets. They're people who sing.
Right.
So
Playing dead animals.
it's not as high concept as it could